Hello everybody. As you can see, I'm joined by a little avatar in the corner here. Um, I'm testing too to see how it works, so if things crash in the middle, um, we're going to have to figure it out from there. So forgive me if I'm a little distracted. Oh, we have a game. All right. Uh, let's start with the king pawn. So I remember playing this with somebody where I had to play my queen right here, otherwise the game was very poor. So that probably means that I'm gonna have to play this, and this knight does not go here because this pawn's gonna have to move. So let's start with a simple pawn push. My development plan is pretty straightforward. So this bishop is not doing well. This bishop's not doing well. I don't like my opening already. Okay. So let's get this pawn out of the way. I don't want this knight in front of that pawn. Let's see if that works, what I'm working on here. There we go. You can tell I'm messing with stuff in the background. Okay, so knight goes here, I think. That's a pretty straightforward move. I like this move. What's my development plan here? We're gonna do. All right. I need to think. It's the problem with doing multiple new things and playing a chess game at the same time here. All right. They're probably gonna do this. Let's. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to remove my little anime character for a little while and see how that goes. I'm curious as to what the stream looks like and what the sound looks like. All right, so focus on the game. Knight here is a move, knight here is a move, bishop here is a move, bishop here is a move. I like knight here, partly because if I play knight here, it's just going to make them do what I want them to do already. They're going to do that. It just feels a bit of a wasted move. They're going to break on this side, so I feel like part of my defense should be take. Well, it's not an issue right now. Next opening move is going to be here. Yeah, we're gonna do the bishop opening move. My opponent is playing incredibly fast for a 30-minute game. It's gonna lead to probably that move to guard this pawn, or this move, maybe with their plans to bring their bishop out. Oh, that's interesting. All right, let me examine that. So if I jump in here and they take me and I take back, their knight has to move. Well, let's get developed. Yeah, castling seems like a good idea. So let's go for king safety. Okay. My opponent's a question mark rating just like me right now. Alright. So what are their plans? This feels like it creates some difficulty. They can't move this bishop yet, because then this pawn falls. So their plan is probably to push and then go like this. I'm thinking if they do this push, I do want to jump in here because this basically makes this move blocked, like it blocks in their bishop as a plan. So if I see this, well, maybe I do this because I don't want to drop this light square bishop. So if their plan is to come forward, maybe I just go back to save my bishop and then kick them. If they go forward, maybe I do this, and if they take me, I go like that, and that guards this square here. There's something to be said about if they go forward and I hop my knight in right away, because their bishop kind of, you know, it's difficult to get, you know, unless you're going all the way back. I also found out how to get a cursor on my screen. I don't know if it's going to match with my voice or whether there's going to be a delay or not, but, you know, it's a learning curve. At least my opponent's finally taking some time. That's good. So let's discuss their plans. I see Vian angling this bishop. I see a knight jump here. I see a knight jump here. A knight jump here. If this knight moves, I win this pawn. Well, no, I don't win that pawn. This bishop is guarding them both. But I think this pawn would rather be here than this bishop. So if they do back up, then I win this guy here. Their opening choice is a bit strange. I don't know what this is, this whole, like, you know, bishop comes out and then retreats. I have seen it before, though. So if this bishop moves, I win a pawn. Okay, rook over. Maybe they plan to do something as caveman-ish as this. I mean, I could. That's kind of a plan. So maybe what I do is I go here with the plan of going here, and then if this bishop moves, I win this pawn. But let's say I do this, and they do that, I win that pawn. If I do this, and they do this instead, and I go here, and they retreat their bishop. I don't know, it's still pretty good. I kind of like the idea of hopping here to here. I mean, if I go like this and they do this, I can still hop in. That's really good for me. I could play this move first. No, see, like, because if I go like this and they can't do that anymore. And they do that maybe. Take here, they take here, I take here. That's not so bad. Yeah, you know, I like my plan. I want to see Let's do it one more time. I go here. They do this. I go here. They do that. I can't take here because it's guarded. I do like my knight here, though. So let's go with that plan. I also like it because it gets my knight out of the way, and they can't do these jumps. This doesn't work, because then I'll just take it, and then I'm on the bishop. If they hop in, I'm wondering, moving this knight, yeah, moving this knight creates a weakness right here. But what I could do, all right, let's run through the sequence. I take, they're probably going to take in this direction. All right, let's calculate it out. I take, they take in this direction because they want their bishop free. I have to jump in here because this knight's being threatened. Then they take me, and then I'm just down a piece. What about basic caveman stuff? What if I do this and do that, and then we sacrifice here? I don't like that this knight is hanging out on its own. I mean, if I jump in here, you know, it's a good idea. If I take like this, and they take me here, this knight has to move. What if I jump this knight in first? That won't work because this guy's here. What if I do this first? He takes me, I take here. What about this move first? It's kind of weakening. I don't think this was a good idea. I think this was a mistake. It allowed this knight jump. Takes. Yeah, my development is gross. What if I just leave this guy and I come up? And then it allows this. It's still not there. I come up. I could do this. I could retreat my knight with the plan of something like that, maybe. I feel like this pawn needs to move, but what's stopping me from doing it right now? Takes. Yeah. All right, let's process this attack here. That move is what I'm considering. If my opponent takes me, my bishop takes back. Their bishop is neutralized. My rook comes up. This is still open. Yeah, we're gonna be aggressive. I don't want to take this guy because it's just bad overall, I think, if I do. Pawn takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, rook takes, knight takes, queen takes. This rook also guards this. Oh, that runs into a fork, though. I gotta be careful. Oh, boy. If they take me, and I take back, and the bishop takes here... queen here? I can't take with this rook, because then it runs into a fork. I didn't see that until I'd made the move. I had all these plans in my head. Okay, so let's see. They take. Yeah. What if I take here? Take with this guy. Yeah. So I take here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to retreat my knight and do this with hopes of having him here. Don't come forward. I gotta go back. I could go forward. I could go back. And I do this. Yeah. I don't like my position at all. I'm down a pawn. The only benefit is I've got, there's these, like, they're isolated pawns, I guess. Well, these two are anyway. This guy can come back here and put pressure here. And then maybe what I do is I do something like this. Yeah, that's interesting. What if I do that? My opponent is dismantling me right now. So they have this. What if I just threaten? So if I threaten this bishop has to move. Then I can take their knight. Yeah, what if I don't react to that? So, if this knight's under attack, this bishop's under attack, queen here maybe, I still get the sequence where I win the piece. These pawns are still incredibly dangerous. But now that they have two pieces under attack, that's an issue. How can they defend them? Queen here doesn't work. Queen here doesn't work. Because then I just take the knight. Yeah, I take the knight. And they're down a knight. And then maybe I do this. This knight's about to be trapped, but I can take here if I need to, or I can take here if I need to. That sacrifice did not work. Okay, let's get the knight into a better position. So my goal is to play this knight here, and then I'm going to take this pawn and get the pawn back. If they do this, I just take the pawn, they take here, I guard, I guess. So my goal is to get this knight here. Probably win that pawn. I probably should have won that pawn right away. The only problem with winning that pawn is things like this are an issue. So like if before I moved the knight, if I had just taken this pawn and they had, for example, played queen here instead, there's a pin and all sorts of really ugly stuff. Whereas if they play this now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my king out of the way. And then they might win this pawn here, but I actually have something to show for it, I think. Maybe. You know, if they do play queen here, I'm just going to move. Well, I could. That knight also guards these pawns, which are very important. So if they play queen here, I have to move my king into the corner. And let's say they take this pawn. I play something like this maybe. This is a very strong structure. Particularly if they play something like this, then the bishop has nowhere to go, but these pawns can be moved, and then the bishop is unmasked at any moment, right? So it's a really strong center. Okay, they're trading down. I'm gonna go here maybe. Maybe this bishop move is a better move. Well, no, because now they have something like this. So let's say they retreat and they play that. I have to play something like this maybe. I can't take them because this repairs the structure and I don't want to do that. That feels like a wasted move because that just runs into this. It just runs into this. And then I play bishop here maybe. Yeah, I gotta guard my pawn. So we're gonna do, I guess, bishop here because I want this pawn guarded. It also stops these are blockaders. I'm stopping my opponent from doing anything with their pawns at the moment. This is just giving up a pawn, isn't it? I take, they take, I take, they take, I come back. Yeah, I think this is okay. I think it's okay. So then I retreat back, and then these pawns are going to try and win me the game somehow. So they unless they want to trade another piece like the exchange. I could do this next. So then when I retreat, this pawn is still guarded. So I come back, pressure on their queen. Maybe I just do this instead. So maybe, so I got two options. I can retreat my bishop in both directions there. This one stares down at this direction. This creates back rank mate issues. I feel like my king needs to be here and my other rook needs to be here. My queen needs to be like, I don't know, here. So what I want is I want my king here, my queen here, my other rook here, and then I need to start doing stuff like this in order to win the game. Having my queen here, I think they just bought me some time. What are you threatening with that? There's all sorts of things. So let's... I don't really see what they're doing. So let's begin my plan. Queen here, king here, rook here maybe? Yeah, you want a queen trade. I thought about that, but there's other things I can do. See, I take, you take, and that's bad. I could ignore it and just bring my rook over here. And then when they take me, I take like this. Yeah. I feel like ignoring the queen trade is the better idea. Not to mention it comes out of this discovery that I was in. It's like moving this rook had a purpose. Purpose was to get out of this potential pawn push discovery. So if they take me, I take back with the knight. They're probably going to pawn push to keep me out. In which case, if they let me, playing this move is important. So if they take me and I take back with the knight, yeah, they're gonna... But what if I just ignore that? That gets me where I want to go anyway. And then I play rook here, and they have to figure out what they're gonna do. So maybe what I do is... If I trade now, they're gonna take this direction, and that's bad for me. I don't like how this is going. And then play something like this. And then I do that. Yeah, okay. So if I do this, queen has to go back here, and then I win the pawn. I could just take the pawn. I could just take it with my queen. No, if I take it with my queen, then I drop this guy. I don't want to drop that guy. So I got a couple options. I can play this move. It forces their queen back. Or it forces the trade. Yeah, we're going to do this because I want them to take me here so I can get this in. And then I can win this pawn now. But before I win that pawn, I need to guard it. Yeah, okay. So if they let me get this in, maybe the plan is to do something like this. And like that later on. I want to keep these pawns isolated. This knight guards this pawn now. I gotta take like this. I can't take with the knight. Yeah, we're gonna take it like that. That's important. And then I take that pawn. I just do this maybe. Yeah, that's important too. I want to keep my piece advantage. Play something like that maybe. I'm gonna win this pawn now. But I gotta be careful how I win it because I don't want to drop this guy. So maybe what I do first is something like this. Come up here. It forces this guy back, and then I do something like that. And then it forces him off this diagonal, and that means that this pawn is freer to grab. So I come up here. They're giving up a rook, huh? Okay, I have to take it. Maybe I play this. Maybe I play this. That idea is very dangerous, so I have to play that. I feel like my opponent is playing very, very strongly, being down an entire piece. They're doing a very good job of stirring up trouble. Like this move right here is threatening all sorts of. Well, what is that really threatening? Oh, here. Yeah, I feel like there's stuff involved with that. I feel it's important that I play this move if they do that move. I don't really like it, but they can't pawn push at that point because then this pawn falls no matter what, and I need this pawn. This is a dangerous pawn. So any move they make from this point, I go knight here. If they do this move, then I go rook here, and then I try to get behind the passed pawn. Let's see, so rook here. And then I play rook here. Yeah, okay. So I had anticipated that, so we're going to try and win the pawn. They can't really do anything. Their bishop is under control, I think. So this pawn should be just falling, and then if they get behind this dude here, this rook move defends it. And then I can start doing things like, I don't know, like this. I win this pawn. And then I start pushing. They got to be careful. If they get behind this pawn here and I take, it's only 1, 2. So like if they go here and I go 1 and they go here and I go 2, there's really, that stops it right there as a move. Oops, stay on page. So that's kind of dangerous. This pawn is absolutely going to fall. Probably best I take with the knight. And so what's their best bet's probably to do something like this. I take. They pawn push. I take. I don't really know. I mean, like, I could just do up like this, so if they pawn push and I do this. If they pawn push and I do this. Well, so if they pawn push and I do this, where's their bishop going to go? If their bishop goes here, I can kick it off the diagonal. If their bishop goes here, I can kick it off the diagonal, but then that opens up, that. But the plus side of that is if I do this and they go, for example, here, but they're not going to do that. My opponent's a good player. All right, so I've won this pawn. Let's get rid of the danger. So now this pawn is much scarier. Yeah, are you going to let me get behind it? So my plan is to do this and then this. I could just make a pawn move. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. So, if they go like this, I'm going to play the move again. They go like that. If they go all the way to the end, so let's say, for example, they do this, I'm going to do this instead. Part of why I made this pawn move was to so I had a square that's like a dark square, because I don't want the light square bishop to be able to kick me from being in behind the pawn. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna do this. See, now the bishop can't kick me, and I can probably get away with something like this. The problem with this pawn right here is it needs to move in order for this bishop to be productive, right? It's not, it looks like it's doing a lot here, but it's not really. So my plan is to, what is my plan? I can go here, and then here. Let's get that pawn on a dark square. I don't want the bishop to be able to challenge it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a timeout to, it's going to have to be this square to do something like this. Their king is very far away. So if I go here and they pawn push, and then I do this. Yeah, and then I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna trade. So the idea is, oops, I trade, bishop takes, rook gets behind the pawn, I take. And then this pawn is going to be a very powerful piece. Yep. We're going to do this. Maybe what I do is I hop my knight in instead. Bishop comes back. For example, I go here. No, probably best to go here. I push. We get the queen. Win the queen. Knight returns with check. He's a wonderful blockader. Let's be... What's the cleanest way to do this? Win this pawn, probably. Yeah, let's win that pawn. And then I can march this pawn straight down without trouble. And my opponent resigned. That was a very, very, very strong game. Holy smokes. I give a good game here. Good game. Well played. That's in the notes. Let's just go to the chat room. Good game. Well played. All right. Let's take a look at the analysis board. That was a very, very strong game by my opponent. Being down a piece for like half of it. I don't think I played that as accurately as I would have liked. Oh, look at that accuracy. I played a very... Wow. Holy smokes. Well, it was a very accurate game. Well, blunder was my opponent. Let's see. This pawn push was a blunder. And you want to go all the way in and break this down. That's a weird idea. Huh. Where was my blunder? I didn't have a blunder. That was a mistake, huh? Alright. What about the inaccuracy? Retreating. I don't know if I like retreating. Well, I guess it does defend my knight. I did talk about that as an issue. So you literally just retreat your bishop and that's what you got. So my opponent thought they could take that pawn. What is the best move here? Yeah, knight here is the best move. So let's do that. Is there a way to defend it? Oh, sneaky tactics. If I take, you have to deflect them. Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. That's a cool idea. So, like, the idea is you play here, and if I take this knight, they just win the piece back. Right here. Huh. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's it for this morning. I'm going to call this a stream. Well, thank you for watching. All right. Take care.